مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, verse number 9.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون.
O you who believe, your riches and your children must not divert you from the remembrance of Allah, and those who do that are the losers.
وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين.
And spend out of what we have given to you before death overtakes one of you and he says, My Lord, would you not give me respite to a near term, so that I should pay Sadaqah, alms, and become one of the righteous?
وَلَن يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهَا وَاللَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ.
But Allah will never give respite to anyone once his appointed time will come, and Allah is all aware of what you do.
So these last three verses are in response to what Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul was telling to people of Medina, that do not spend on Prophet and do not support him in any way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directly addressing to the Muslims, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu la tulhikum amwalukum wa la awladukum an zikrillah. So do not let your riches and your wealth and your children to divert you or abstain you or prevent you from the remembering of Allah. Whoever does that, وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. The person will be among the losers. So no matter what situation with the children, with the wealth or busyness with the work, means we should not miss our salah, we should not forget about remembering, thanking and zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we have no time, we should at least do subhanallah wa bihamdi subhana rabbil azim, we should do astaghfirullah, and all these things will help us a blessing, and this will keep us as a reminder. And during the discussion, while we are talking, sitting in and gathering, we just simply should keep reciting La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, astaghfirullah, subhanallah, subhanallah wa bihamdi subhana rabbil azim, la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin, Allahumma arhamna kama rabbayani saghira. So making dua, just in other words, the zikrullah, whatever we can do, just remember, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, As-salatu was-salamu ala ashraf al-anbiya wal-mursaleen, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So these zikrullah should be done all the time, should be done while we are sitting, watching, talking, communicating. Only when we are speaking to the others, that moment we can help the tongue not to do it, but heart should always be doing the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is what the Sufi and Awliya Ikram teaches us, that your heart should not be ever away from the remembrance of Allah. And whenever we do anything, when we remember Allah, we see the good for the mankind, good for the Muslim, good for the nation. So that will purify our heart. And sending salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will help us to be of respect and honor. وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت. So spend from your sustenance Allah has given you before that one of you come to that moment or about to be dying. فيقول رب لولا أخرتني. Then the person will say, my Lord, you not give me a respite. Would you not give me a respite? لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب. That near term. Just give me a little bit time. Why? فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين. So that I will spend everything in your testimony of you. And in other words, people who are being intimidated or influenced by the hypocrites telling them do not spend in the path of Allah. So when you have this moment, nothing left, and you have to pay the sadaqah, so a person will wish that I should spend all of my money and I should become among the salihin. This is one of the requests which a person will ask, person who dies, because they have seen the whole thing which is beyond this life after death, in the alam barzakh, the one in the grave, and akhirah, and the day of judgment. So at that time we should be very mindful. The person will wish for one thing, to come back to life, to what? To spend everything in the path of Allah, so that he will be among the righteous. So spending in the path of Allah makes a person righteous, because money is something we think we own it, we belongs to us because we earn it. A person can say, money is mine, property is mine, because I have it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَلَن يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهَا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not give a respite to anyone once his appointed time has come. Wallahu khabirun bima ta'malun. Indeed, Allah is all aware of what you do. So in other words, when they will come back to life, they will still do that. They will not spend in the path of Allah, because the worldly attraction is so enormous that these people will not spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's a lot more to talk about it. It's a message for us. First of all, we should worship Allah alone, and we should have utmost respect and love and obedience to Allah's messenger and Allah himself and his messenger, and obey Quran and Sunnat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We should not have any doubt about Prophet's acts and actions and commands. We can always say, I do not understand, but as a believer, I believe my Prophet is truth and he spoke of the truth. So many times we hear the hadith which does not make sense to us, which does not understand. Quran has verses and ayahs and words which we do not understand. It doesn't mean we should disbelieve. We should not understand everything. We cannot understand everything. But as a believer, we should have an utmost belief and trust in that Allah is right, I am not, because I still do not understand. Maybe scholars can give some answer. If we do not find any answer, I always tell people, make 2 rak'ah salat al-hajat and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Allah, guide me, I'm not understanding. And you will see that this secret will open to your heart. And as Islam says, when you ask for something you're not sure, that's why you need fatwa. Fatwa is what? Fatwa is a decree for a matter of something which is not straightforwardly understood by a person. And when alim gave a fatwa, it could be in time and space, it could be for longer, it could be shorter, it could be in a space to a time of any limitation, or it could be used as a reference. It's like a legal decree, court judgment. And that could be wrong and that could be right. When it is right, the person who gave the fatwa is a jurist. He is given 2 rewards, one for his efforts, one for the rightness of. And when it is wrong, then a jurist get 1 reward of his efforts, not for the correction of the decree. Why? There's no punishment, by the way, in this thing to be understood. So what should we do when we take fatwa from an imam and or sheikh or the jurist, and that fatwa does not appeal to our heart? The Prophet says, then listen to your heart. And then what is righteous, not listening to heart to doing wrong. So doing righteousness, and we have to look for the individual and collective benefit of person, family, loved ones, nation, community, country, humanity, for whole nation, whole world. So our decision has to be consciously taken in this matter in this way. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. With this we end today Surah AlMunafeqoon, and it's about hypocrites. One should ask in his heart, whatever Prophet says, I believe in it. People may disagree, we may not like certain things, we may disagree on the fiqh. This is one thing to be understood. Fiqh is interpretation. Creed is a belief. So believing in Prophet is from the heart. Believing in Allah, His angels, His books, His scriptures, prophets, all the messengers is a part of faith and creed. Jews thought that Prophet ﷺ is not part of the deal, so they don't believe in him. That's where they were munafiq. When they saw some attributes, they thought, oh yes, he is. When they did not see what is satisfying their heart, they said, no, he's not. So going back and forth in your doubt, and those people who are envious and jealous of Rasulullah and his family are considered munafiq. And when the Prophet was alive, Prophet knew who was the munafiq or hypocrites. When Prophet passed away, Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was the criteria. So when Sahaba used to have somebody declaring Islam, they would have to talk good about Ali. They would say so many good things about Ali that the person will question, what did you mean by Ali, Ali, all the time? And that's what they know, that he does not have love for Ali, means he is a munafiq. So this has been a well-known thing, and which is well-known attributed thing. It is in the hadith, it's in the Quran. So we should be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Allah to guide us and keep us as a mu'min and a Muslim and not a munafiq. With this I will stop. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Next surah is the Surah AlMujadila, and inshallah we will start that.